Hello, and welcome to the Empowerography Podcast. This is a platform created for women's voices to be heard and a place to share their stories, journeys, and successes with the world for the purpose of helping other women who might be on similar journeys. We are empowering women one episode at a time. I'm your host, Brad Walsh, so kick back, grab one of your favorite beverages, and enjoy the stories. What if I told you the only thing standing between you and your next big opportunity is your voice? This isn't just another program. Empower Your Message is your ticket to becoming the podcast guest everyone wants. You'll learn how to craft a pitch that gets a hell yes, show up with unshakable confidence, and drop truth bombs that leave hosts and audiences wanting more. No more playing small, no more waiting for permission. It's your time to be heard. Loud, clear, and unforgettable. Visit the link in the show notes to sign up, and let's make your voice impossible to ignore. The mic is waiting. Are you ready? Hello there, Brad Walsh here, your host of the Empowerography Podcast, a platform that was created to help elevate and amplify the voices of women through sharing their stories. Today, my guest is Veronique Gautier. She is a vision-driven leader, a value creator, strategist, and mentor, a transformational life mastery consultant, a brave thinker, and a brand builder. Welcome, Veronique. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you so much, Brad, for having me.
I am so excited and honored to have you here. I know that we have been trying to get this done for quite some time now, so it is lovely to have you here with me so that we can share a little bit about your story, your journey, and all the beautiful light you put out into the world through the work you do. I am honored and excited to jump in. So with that being said, let us do just that. That is one hell of a lot of hats and titles that you wear. I would love to know, what was the first moment that broke you open? The one that shifted you from surviving life to consciously creating life?
Yeah. Okay. So how much time do you have, Matt? Because it was not actually really just a moment. It was basically an aftershock on the other side of a very difficult divorce. It was not the divorce that was difficult. I think it was everything before that. So there was a piling up effect. And on the other side of my divorce, I just kept going the way that I knew about. And I was an overachiever. I was used to perform in a very demanding industry, being a consultant, advising leaders, large corporations, and also innovators. I didn't realize how much I had lost sight of myself. And you're an executive and you're very successful and life is very demanding on that level. And you add a family life on top of it. And you add a child that you love, of course, and you want to put first. And then slowly but surely, what happened to me at least, and I hear it resonates with a lot of women, is I totally lost track of who I was and what I wanted. Because I think women were geared that way, is that we have the tendency to put everybody else wellness and interest before ours. And I did that with my child, whom I love so much, and no regret about that, obviously, but my husband's ambition before mine. And so my story is really, you believe you're compromising. That was a word that I would have never used. You never would have heard it coming out of my mouth for so many years. And then here I am, and I'm compromising here and compromising there. And in the end, it's not what you end up compromising, is who. And the who was me.
Yeah. Yeah. That is a very common story I hear among women, is putting themselves on the back burner and putting everyone else's needs ahead of their own, and there's nothing left for them. And this part of it is through no fault of their own, because women have been conditioned and brought up to believe that you have to put everyone ahead of you. Your needs and your wants come last. You got to take care of everyone else first, because you are the nurturer, you are the woman, and that's what women naturally do. But we're seeing a shift, and I think it's great that we're seeing that shift, but for so long it's led women to burnout and to exhaustion and having nothing left to give to themselves. So they're completely depleted. And it's completely the opposite. When you pour into yourself and give to yourself, you have that much more to give to those you choose to give to, those you want to give to, your kids, your spouse, your friends, your community, whatever it is, your job, all of it. You have so much more to give. And so we need to shift that mindset. And we need to continue to have these conversations, because this is what helps shift the needle, is talking about it and letting people know that, you know what, it is okay to put yourself first. There's nothing wrong with that. You should be doing that.
Yeah, Brad, thank you for saying that and hearing from a man. But I'm going to tell you this, I'm probably the last person I thought it would happen to. With 36, when I had my child, I was very established in my career. And so I led like a bunch of years of my life putting myself first. And so we're talking about very deep programming. I don't know. I don't know what the hell happened to me. And again, I was very conflicted about this for a little while. And because it's like, okay, do I have regrets? And of course, when you have a child that you love so much, even if the marriage ended up where it ended, you cannot regret. And I'm not the type of person that entertain regrets. This is why I always move forward in my life. But I had to sit with this take a harsh look at what the hell happened to me. And also it was really, what was aggravating is, here I was, the advisor to the leaders, and I could not even find my way out. And I was like a lioness in a cage, and except at the end of the divorce, the cage was wide open, but I could not find my way out. So this is why, and I'm saying that now with relative freedom and ease, but at the time, that was a big element of shame into this, because I was like, I don't even know that I can show up being so not in control, so feeling powerless in so many ways.
And like you said, it's very deep programming that you have to shed.
So that's why it didn't feel good at all when this happened. But my story is, there was so much stress that had been building up for years, and my identity which was given to me in the consulting world, was that I was a warrior. So I was, the only thing that I knew is to keep going and not listen for a second about how I feel, certainly not, but certainly not even how I was feeling in my body. And I was feeling drained and exhausted. And so no wonder that I got sick. And so all of a sudden, all the stresses hit in my world, in my life. And because I felt like nothing was fitting anymore, really. So I mentioned the divorce, so that's one element. And then my child was off to college. And then I'm like, okay, this is weird. I don't feel the excitement and the passion in what I'm doing anymore. And I am not expressing myself in a way that obviously gives me life. It's depleting me, efforting and pushing through. And I remember a time in my life where it was the opposite. I was blessed with an incredible vitality, and it was driven by passion and by I want to say certainty, like the belief that what I was doing mattered, that my contribution mattered, that I was able to, in some ways at least, move the needle in a good way.
Your whole identity had been stripped away. Your marriage ended. Your child's gone off to school. So now it's, okay, who the fuck am I? What do I do with myself?
Exactly. So what do I do with myself? I kept going, but I kept going on a path that was no longer mine. And because I had not, so that this is really, you asked what broke me open. The lesson is really that, as I realized, wow, this is an identity crisis. This is a vision crisis. I don't know who I am. I don't know what is it I want to do. So this is what started me on this reinvention, for me first, and now for other women that I help.
I love it. And so what drives, motivates, and inspires you to keep going and excelling at all that you do?
I just love life. I think for me, life is the biggest adventure that is given to us. Basically, what's the type of ride are you going to take? And for me, there was like big highs and big lows, and big highs and big lows. For me, the only way is forward and up. And as long as I'm growing, as long as I'm learning, as long as I have life circulating through me, which is the big discovery, is I didn't realize that everything that I had done in my life and my expertise, which is value creation, really how to create transformations that create value, how it was the same key to everything, to personal development. And so the same thing that that helped me create value for companies and help advise entrepreneurs and leaders and innovators is the same key that helped me give myself life. Because without vitality, there's nothing you can do. If you're in survival, if your system is on survival, your brain is shut down. And believe me, it's not the time to think. It's not the time to be brave. It's not the time to, there's no passion there. I discovered the biggest frustration of it all was that I was I was grounded. And that's the worst thing that could have happened to me. And that's the best thing that happened to me.
Beautiful. And so before the titles, the certifications, the success, who was the woman staring back at you in the mirror when you first realized that something had to change?
I was on my knees. I mean, it's not an image. It's actually, actually, there was the moment when I chose to live, almost literally, was the night before a very big presentation that I had to give. I was developing an innovation that was like in a very long time. I had not felt so much purpose, so much energy, so much passion. I had an amazing team. And just the night before the presentation, it's 3:00 in the morning, I can't sleep. And I can't believe this. I am exhausted and I can't sleep. And I'm turning and tossing and turning and tossing. And at some point, I don't know why, but I got up and I got down on my knees in the middle of my room. It was pitch dark. And I just closed my eyes because I felt, is this the end? Is this the end? Because if I can't do this, then what can I do? Because I was not in a good place, like physically. I had written my will. I had prepared my kid. I was really not in a good place. I never talked about it because I was still, let's suck it up. Let's get ready. Let's get other people ready. But that night, I was on my knees. And what happened is I surrendered my weapons. The warrior really laid down the weapons and all the ways that had, now I can say the word, abused myself with being so demanding and overworking and overloading myself with stuff. And I heard this voice. Say, very gentle, soft, very caring, very loving. Ooh, it still brings emotion every time I share this. Where have you been, Veronique? Where have you been for all these years? And obviously, I started crying because it hit my heart. Like, that's the moment that cracked me open when I heard back the person in the mirror. It was like, you've disappeared from your own life. You abandoned yourself. This is why you're on your knees. This is why you have no vitality in your body right now. This is why you're not sleeping right now. This is why this feels like you are at the end of this life. And so there was a lot of emotion, and it's a beautiful moment because I opened my eyes, and in this pitch dark room, I saw a ray of light coming from the corner of this window, and my gaze connected with it, and it gave me like a jolt of energy. And in this moment, I said, no, this is not the way it ends. I have no idea what to do and how to do things differently. But this is the beginning of something new that I have no control over right now, but I'm willing to go for another ride. And so I'm going to be a student. There must be another way. And of course, when you're ready, the right mentor appears. And for me, I had always been in an environment full of men that I love, by the way, but full of men, full of masculine energy. My identity was really the extreme masculine energy. Although, because of course I was the person I am today also, but I had not reconciled all the parts. So I didn't want a mentor that was a man that would tell me cold shower and suck it up and do this and let's go down to the trenches again. So eventually I found the right mentor, and more than a mentor, I found a system of transformation, and very quickly on things started to click. And what I needed the most was to regain some health, some vitality, and it happened very quickly. And then I was really, so then when your brain is no longer in survival mode, you're able to create. So I was able to create a new vision. And actually, you don't create a vision. I think you welcome it. And through the welcoming process that was very vivid to me, I ended up accepting 15-year calling. at the time, that was 15 years probably, I had been a coach. I had been certified as a coach in 2005, but I was not ready for that. Or it's not that I was not ready. I was resisting the shift in identity from the warrior to the mentor and resisting. But now I was ready. And so the question was not, okay, I forget about the past and now I'm this new person. We are one person. That's what you were sharing with the titles. It is the titles and the hats. It's one person, many dimensions. The thing is, before it was scattered, I used to joke that I had multiple personality disorders because I didn't know how to bring it all together. But the truth of the matter, it was always me. That's why
it's always,
So we don't really reinvent ourselves. We're just, for me, we reconnect the dots. It's remembering and it's connecting the dots in a way that gives you life. And so when I was able to do that, so identity, vision, vocation, and that was the easy part. Was okay. What does it mean for the business? This transformation now is actually what I take women through now, because I have put myself through it. I'm not just talking from a book or a program I took. Is I went through the system. I went through the transformation.
Yeah. You experienced it. And so I want to start talking about value and worth for a minute here. What's the most common way that people unknowingly undervalue themselves, and how do you help them change that?
So I think the biggest problem is that people compare each other to other people. And it's actually, this is why it brings me to my tool. My tool number one is your DNA, which is for me, your distinctive natural assets. Each of us is born unique, but we forget what this means. We're born unique. We're born unique for a reason. You, Brad, you have your own life code. I have my own life code. And so what gives me life is actually to express my unique design. And so when each of us, we are at work at becoming the best person to deliver the design that we own and we uniquely own, then we stop competing with each other. So it's very important. I think the biggest sin is comparing. And so contribution is what I like to bring to the table, to the discussion table, because it's like, what's your unique contribution? So let's work on that. That is the source of your unique value and worth.
Yeah, we all have our own gifts and we're here to share them with the world. And that whole comparisonitis thing, that's a difficult thing. We all go through it. I got to a point where I finally realized when I leapt from corporate to entrepreneurship, I went through a really long bout of that. It was almost 2 years of it. And when I got a mentor, I finally realized and stepped into the belief and the knowing that my only competition is me. As long as I can see that I'm improving and I'm growing and expanding, that's all that matters. Because guess what? No one else is me. No one else can provide the things that I provide because I am unique. That is one of my gifts. And it's the same for everybody. You are unique, like your fingerprint, like a fingerprint. No one else is you. No one else has that gift. So once you dig into that and realize that you're special, you are a gift, my whole world changed completely.
Yeah.
When I realized that, it was a huge breakthrough.
Yes, it is. And I just want to add on to that, because people believe, like, some people might hear that it's very soft. We're talking about soft skill. No, what I'm proposing at least is to utilize, to leverage your DNA, your distinctive and natural assets to create value in the business world. So
Absolutely.
It's not about, I know how to bake cookies. Okay, if you bake cookies in an amazing way, then create a company that distribute the cookies so you can contribute to bringing the best cookies on the planet Earth. So I think it's what I'm trying to say is you have to be willing to bring it all the way. And
absolutely.
And if you bring it all the way, then the major step for me in terms of the society we live in is, and you mentioned it, it's moving out of the really disempowering competition, the competitive mindset. And it was I was operating in a very competitive environment. But I think I was my unique value proposition, but I think I was not aware of it. As
There is no competition.
yeah,
There's no such thing as competition. There is more than enough abundance for everybody on this planet. There's more than enough to go. I don't care what industry you're in. I don't care what your business is. There is no competition. There is more than enough to go around for everybody. Absolutely. And that's, again, that ties into the comparisonitis piece and getting into that mindset and believing it and embodying it and living it, because it's the truth. There's no competition. And once you can do that, your whole world will shift. Those two things, your entire world will shift 1000%. I guarantee you. But you have to embody it. It's not just, oh, okay, I'm going to say these things, but I don't really believe them, or I'm not embodying them. I'm not stepping into. You
yeah,
have to embody the beliefs.
yeah. So then the question is, now that you know who you are, what you would love, what you're designed to be, what's the vehicle for your
Yeah.
expression and unique contribution? What's the vehicle? Build the vehicle.
Yeah, exactly. If you could teach every entrepreneur one thing about value creation, what would it be?
I think it ties up with what we just discussed, which is know your unique source of value, know your DNA. And so that's why I take my people through it. I used to do it for corporations and companies, but now I do it with individuals. We do the work of identifying your distinctive natural assets. And so I always say it's not therapy. It's not therapy. We're looking at it like, what is an asset? Okay, what can I leverage to create value? So the one thing is make sure you keep expressing your unique DNA. And then the second thing, because it's good to know where you are. That's your reference.
Right.
But you have, if you're an entrepreneur, where are you heading?
Yeah.
And that's the vision part. And so having a vision is the second most important thing. And I think people are not really clear with their vision most of the time. And I know myself, I was out of a vision for a while. So it feels really weird. It's okay, where am I going? Where do I calibrate myself to go? So it's really what freezes people, I think, in place is not having a strong enough vision. And when you know where you want it to go, then the transformation happens automatically. It's like an energetic pool. You're being pulled by the vision. And so it's not that you have to learn to do things differently. You'll be pulled. I work with people and when they say, okay, what's the book you recommend? I say, do not create problems you don't have. You will be introduced to a door that you might not know how to open. You'll either find a key or you'll know someone who has the key. But you stop creating out of scarcity. Stop creating out of worries and problems and all the things I don't know. Oh, no, I know who I am. I know where I'm heading, and that's enough.
That's the art of overthinking, creating problems that do not exist. That's exactly it. I heard a DJ say that once on the radio, and it struck me so hard because I am a classic overthinker. And that hit me right in the heart when I heard him say that. Holy shit, that's it. It is totally true. You are creating problems out of something that doesn't even exist. It's hard to snap that. When you're in that mode, it's hard to snap out of it. But again, when we're able to see it for what it is, it changes everything.
Yes. And Brad, just great on what you just said. This is just a habit. I discovered that worrying, overthinking, it's just a habit. It's just a way that you've habituated your brain to work. So I'm saying all the overthinkers that are listening, you can cue yourself. And it's called awareness. It's just like becoming aware. Oh, what am I overthinking about? Like when I started really like years ago, my transformation, my journey, honestly, I was blown away in a bad way about all the things that were crossing my mind. I was like, I can't believe I'm thinking those things. I don't even know where it's coming from.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the self-awareness for sure. That is key.
Yes.
If value creation had a love language, what would yours be?
I don't know. For me, everything is energy, vitality.
Okay.
Yeah. I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. When it comes to creating value in the world, what do you think matters more, skill or self-belief?
Oh, self-belief. You have to believe in yourself, but you have to believe in something, also the vision. But to execute the vision, definitely. That's what I just said. It's not one more book. It's not one more skill you have to learn. The battle is with yourself. Valor
Yeah,
yourself.
anyone can learn skills. That's the easier part. I think the harder part is the self-belief and trusting in yourself for sure.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing that. What would you say is the difference between adding value and over delivering to the point of burnout? As we talked about, women step into that burnout a lot more frequently than men do. And men, even if they do, they'll never admit it. So what do you think is the difference between the two?
I think it's self-awareness.
Okay.
What's going on for me right now? How am I feeling right now? Am I giving away my energy? Does it feel right? And so creating value can be absolutely done with respect to yourself. So my life started to change when I really understood a couple of things. And one of these key things is everything is energy. Everything is energy. Yes, you're going to move the needle. You're going to create value. You're going to make a contribution. If you got to die for it, it's not the right contribution. Is it even a contribution? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. When did you first realize the difference between knowing your worth and actually charging your worth? Because this is another thing that a lot of women struggle with, and men too. Men struggle with it too, but I think more women struggle with this than men. So when did you first realize the difference?
I've got to tell you, when I was in consulting, I never once had to negotiate what I charge for because I was always getting more than what I had in mind. So I kept saying,
Right.
yes, you must be at that level. I say, yes, I was. Okay. But interestingly, when I moved into coaching, I had this moment for a while. Okay, how much am I charging? So the big, I think, shift in awareness is to realize. So that's back to self-belief. The worst is, what is the value of what I'm actually bringing? Like my mentor brought me back to life. What's the value? Is it 15K? Is it 35K? What is it? So this is what moved me out of now that I'm a coach, how am I going to charge? Based on what? And that's why I never have the discussion about money. Even the people I work with, that's the last element. And it doesn't mean they're wealthy people. It just means this is not the type of discussion we're having. I want to know, is it the right fit program for you? Is the right fit to work with me? And I work with people who move forward and up. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not about the money. If you have a problem with the money right now, it's not going to get better. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to create value from yourself, from your distinctive natural assets. And once you understand that and you know that, then you can go out in the world and create as much money as you want. And on track and in alignment with who you are, which is the beauty of it.
Yeah. Aligned wealth, aligned abundance.
Yes.
If value were a currency beyond money, what would you say yours is made of?
So I kind of always, for me, everything is energy, but I would say love.
The highest vibration on the planet.
Which is the same. I want to say the same, because love is energy and energy is
Yes,
love.
absolutely. I love that answer. Thank you. As a dream builder, we hear a lot of people talk about their dreams, but few people actually put in the work to build their dreams and achieve them. What's the biggest lie that you've seen or that you think that we've been sold about going after our dreams?
Okay. The only thing that limits us is our own limitations. The problem with our limitations is that we don't see them because they're unconscious. They're really deep. And that's why you need a mentor. You need a coach. Otherwise, you're going to tiptoe into it. You're going to waste your time. Sorry, I forgot the first part of the question.
Well, as a dream builder, lots of people talk about building their dreams, but never do. So what's the big lie that we've all been sold?
So the limitation and the programming is that, it's not for me, it's for other people. I can't have it. In my family, we're not doing this type of thing. We're not equipped to receive that kind of abundance or success or whatever. And that's one of the reasons why I left my country and moved over here some 27 years ago, is because I really felt like I wanted a change of scenery. I wanted to feel that everything was possible. I wanted to be in an open container and just filled with my passion and knowing how to create visions that transform, here was the perfect environment for me. So it's always our own limitations. And so my belief, which has always been one of my assets, is everything is possible. And I know that for
Yes.
sure.
I love that. It's so true. We are capable of absolutely anything we put our minds to. It's just a matter of doing the work. Belief, first and foremost, is the self-belief.
Yeah.
That's where it has to start. It all starts here within us. Then it's putting in the work. That's work too, is trusting in yourself and believing in yourself, and also putting in the work to achieve what it is you want to achieve. Because anything, absolutely anything is, if you can dream it, it's doable. That's it, period.
I fully agree with you. If you have received a possible vision for you, it is yours to begin with.
Yeah.
It is
Yes.
possible. And if we're pulling the quantum physics part of it, it means like a part of you is already resonating, meaning existing at that level. So this is the power of the transformation, and the dream building is not just having a dream, and it's not even building the dream, it's coming from the dream. It's dream building. And what happens when we dream build, which is something I do with my clients, is we are leveraging one of the faculties of our brain to create a new memory, because we typically use our memory to think back, look back, pull back. Okay.
Yep.
Now we're creating a new memory that we are storing, and then we're working on the recall. So on a certain level, we are raising ourselves to becoming a new individual with a new identity. And that's from that place that we're able to take a certain type of actions that we were not able to before. And that's acting from your future self in a way. Here's what moves you through these invisible boundaries and limitations.
Yeah.
So they pop up by themselves because you just move through them. So when you have a vision and you said, okay, what would this person do right now to get to experience what I know that on some level, this is what I want to be living. Okay, what would she do?
Yeah.
And you just
I love
doing it.
Yeah.
And
I love that you said that, because sorry, go ahead, finish your thought.
And so that's how you get, because you're able to take different type of action, that you're able to read different type of results. There's no other way.
Yeah. And I love that you shared that, because I just finished reading, and now I'm listening to it, the book, A Happy Pocket Full of Money. And the author talks about when you get, and this is one of the most profound things that hit me in that book, is when we get downloads or ideas or something on our heart that we want to do, that's because someone out there in the universe is requesting that service or that product or whatever it is, and they want it from you. I never looked at or thought about it that way, but that really struck me. And it is so fucking powerful when you think about it that way. It's on your heart for a reason. Someone out there in the universe needs or wants that service or product. And that's why it's on your heart.
Yeah.
Or that's why it's come to you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And in my own language, is like you have a unique life code, and everything is energy, everything is information. It's not because you don't see something that it doesn't exist. It's 99.999% of the reality is not visible to our eyes. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It exists. We know that. It's science, right? So the thing is, if we are connecting with this piece of information, it's because we are connected with this piece of information and we are able to receive it for a reason. It's because it's part of the execution, the expression of our own unique design. So if you're receiving a dream, it's not wishful thinking. It's not too good to be true. It's not for others. It is yours. Your dream is yours.
Yes, grab it. If we stripped away every should and supposed to, how do we start figuring out what we truly want?
I would say just disconnect all the control and start receiving. Start receiving information. So it's quieting down the brain, quieting the chatters of all the ways that things should be, expectations about yourself, expectations about people around you, expectations about how the world should run. It's the opposite. Quiet down and you will receive. It's called intuition. And it's a serious faculty that we totally ignore, but it's a faculty. Okay. So grow this faculty. And that's something that, again, we teach. We're teachable creature, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And it's by quieting down and meditation. And there's all sorts of ways to do it. Your breath. And you don't need to be a master just to get results. There's very quick ways that you can calm your nervous system so that you can listen and receive and sense the world and the information.
Beautiful. What would you say is one of the most underestimated parts of building a dream that nobody prepares you for?
Of building the dream, you're going to have to grow. You're going to have to grow, because if there is no growth involved, you would have done it before. So there's growth. Growth is painful. Remember when we were growing, like physically growing our bodies?
The growing pains, yes.
Growing pains.
Yeah.
So we got to experience that. It's ego pain.
It's a lot of pain.
It's a lot of pain, but you know
discomfort,
what?
A lot of discomfort.
So we can flip the script. And I flip the script always. And because I don't like to feel discomfort. I don't like to feel pain. I don't mind the discomfort. I don't want to feel pain in my life. So I'm always, okay, what is it that I'm growing into? I check that the opportunity is a match to my vision, obviously. If someone were to ask me to jump off the cliff here, I wouldn't do it, because that's not my thing. Okay.
Yeah.
That might be somebody else's thing, but it's not mine. I'm not talking about this type of limitation, but if there is a discomfort or fear, that actually when there is a fear, I do it with the thrill of it, for the thrill of it. Like I've had this vision, it's part of my vision. It's been like part of my vision for a few years now, to host a talk show and television show. And the straight line would have freaked me out totally, although I started having conversations 3 years ago. So it's still there, right? It's there. It exists. This dot exists, and I know it's mine. But the way to get there was I was offered a co-hosting position on an existing show. And instead of freezing out and canceling the opportunity, I said, this is like the training wheels that I need right now. So yeah, I'm going to be scared for half a minute, but now I'm not. So now I can I can connect the next dot.
Yeah. It's a foot in the door. It's a starting point.
But it's growth. It's understanding everything's growth. If you want to do the big thing that sounds like so obvious, but it's not, is if you want to achieve, to do anything different, you've got to learn to do it differently. Like,
for sure.
You've got to learn how to do it differently. You've got to be willing then to do things differently.
Yep, absolutely. If the version of you 5 years from now could speak to you today, what would she thank you for?
For how brave I am. That I keep going no matter what. I keep going. And because I believe in me, I believe in my vision, I believe in my contribution, and I'm happy to do it along the way, which is more than a lot of people can say about their lives and how they're going about their lives.
Beautiful. What would you say is one of the hardest truths that someone has to face before they can truly transform their lives?
You don't know it all. You might be wrong about the way things work. You might be, in the dark in some ways. So that's why I'm saying, let's be humble for a second and accept that we don't know. And it's fine not to know. And actually, who knows?
Yeah.
But let's be students and let's practice what we learn, because it's not about the knowledge, it's about the application. It's about the experience. And only by putting you through the experience, you can, as a human being, reap different type of results in the real world. So it's not about thinking, it's not about knowledge, it's about application. What are you moving in the real world? We live in a physical world. We are human beings, right? So we need to move stuff in the real world. And a lot of people, I think, confuse action with agitation. And for a while, when I didn't know what I was doing, I was really lost in agitation. I was moving every rock I could. I was like totally exhausting myself. So no, like purpose driven, vision driven action. What builds the dream.
Aligned action. Yep, absolutely. In your experience, why do so many people resist doing the deep inner work that they know they need to do?
I think there's a deep human nature thing that has grown exponentially is people want immediate results, immediate gratification. Give me the remote that fixes my hair, in your case, that fixes my health, that fixes. We've totally lost common sense, I want to say. And so, yeah, it's going to take a minute to change your programming that you've been running for probably the last 35 years minimum. So, yes, let's acknowledge that. And by the way, there's nothing wrong about you. There's nothing wrong about even our parents. And no, everybody's programmed. 95% of our thoughts are unconscious. 60,000 thoughts a day, 95% are unconscious. It's nobody's fault. It's just the way it is. So the sooner you get the way that it is, the sooner you get to start to do things differently.
Yeah, everybody wants the magic bullet or the quick fix, or there is no magic bullet. There is no magic fix. You have to do the work, period.
Yeah. And what I'm very passionate about is getting people to understand that, you have to start. There's a sequence to success. Like everybody understand that business wise, but when it comes to our personal development, we forget that. So it's not about the skills. It's not reading one more book. It's about, stopping. Who is it that I am right now? What is it that I would love right now? And then becoming a match for what we want to experience in this life.
Beautiful. What is the hardest truth someone has to face? What is the most misunderstood part about transformation that people rarely talk about?
I'm sorry, I'm not getting the question. Sorry.
What's the most misunderstood part about transformation that people don't talk about?
So I guess a lot of people believe that it has to be painful. And what I'm proposing is that it's probably the adventure of your lifetime. It's rediscovering, going through your own hero's transformation, becoming compassionate with who you are by stumbling down, by falling, by tripping, by getting back up. Like the amount of respect that I've gained for myself through this process has been amazing. And so stop beating ourselves up. It's really congratulations if you're doing the work. So transformation, it's going to be definitely uncomfortable, but it's going to be so worth it because at the end of it, it's your life.
When life hit you hardest, what is the smallest thing that you did that made the biggest difference for you?
So now is to breathe. I stop and I breathe because I know the key is to regulate my nervous system. If I'm being hit by a problem and I stay in the reactive mode, if I put myself in the warrior's mode, in the survival mode, then I know I'm stuck. And I'm giving energy to an energy that I don't want to grow. So the first thing I do right now is that I know to stop and I know to pause. And that's why even when I'm on serious overload, like there's a ton of things happening in my life right now, in business life, it's self-preservation. And I do not experience anxiety. I do not even experience pressure. I know to control my nervous system. And the action part is just one thing at a time. Just one thing at a time. Even when I have a list of things, I used to have a to-do list. To-do list is a killer. What I am doing is I have a to-move thing. Because what's important is to move the energy. It's not necessary to check the box. I need to move the energy of that project. I need to move it along. And not everything is urgent. We live in a world where everything is an emergency, everything. That's not true. That's creating chaos and really driving your nervous system to the ground because we're not designed, that's a fact, to be on emergency mode all the time. So this is why we're burning out 1% at a time, is because we are demanding of our system something that is not designed to do, just like we would not do that. We would not do that with our car. We would stop, give it water, give it gas, let it cool down, and yet we're not giving this to ourselves. What
Yeah,
are we doing?
absolutely. I love that. The moved list, or a friend of mine calls it the ta-da list. If you cross something off, you get something done. Ta-da, I did something. And the list is not going anywhere. It's always going to be there, and it will always have things added to it. So stop stressing over it. You do one thing at a time, one step at a time, because that's all you can do.
And moving it from the vision, meaning that there's a ton of things that do not move the vision, that doesn't bring the
Yeah.
vision into
Busy work.
Yeah. So there's a ton of things that is just confusion, distraction. The minute I realized that, I stopped the confusion. And confusion, by the way, just feeling lost, it's just a habit. It's a habit.
Yeah.
It's a nervous system habit. Okay. It's like the GPS, when you don't know where you are,
Yeah.
or the computer buffering or buffering.
Buffering.
That is what's happening. So let's get out of the buffering. It's like stop, breathe. There are techniques, simple, and then reconnect with what the hell am I doing? What am I the hell? What am I here to be and do? And these are very basic questions, but when we are clear on them, this is all you need. Move to a different place in your. If you're happy with where you are, like, great for you. Okay. If you're happy with where you are, and you still want to travel in this life, you need two coordinates. Where did I am now? Who am I now? Where do I want to go?
Yeah.
What is that I would love now? That's the destination. So the location and destination are the only 2 points of coordinates you need to move through the journey, which again, I think when you start understanding what this life is about, it's an adventure. We're here for a very limited time. I'm lucky.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
But so let's keep going, but not going for the sake of going. Let's create something. Let's contribute to each other. Let's contribute from a place that we can, because we are the only one who can.
That's right. I love it. If transformation had a scent, taste, or sound, what would it be for you?
For me, it would be a big laughter, a big, happy, satisfied laughter, like the one you just had. Brad was perfect.
Beautiful. I love that. If every woman listening to this could integrate just one truth into their life starting today, right now, what would it be?
I want you to know you're a value creator. You are way more powerful than you know yourself to be. And it's not brain surgery to identify your source of value and to activate it. It's not brain surgery, but it's a decision, and it's a commitment for a few months to learn the way that things work differently. I'm not saying it's the truth. This is what I know. This is what I know works.
Okay. Beautiful. Thank you for that. If someone only met the version of you from 10 years ago, what would shock them most about who you are now?
It's a podcast, so you don't see me laughing, but I was smiling. It's just, I am so much more at peace. I was a warrior. I was overrunning myself. I'm peace of mind, extreme freedom, trust. I got rid of my anxiety and the worry machine happening in my mind. Totally rewired that. So I would say peace of mind.
Yeah. Okay. What is one thing you know now that you wish you had known when you first started your entrepreneurial journey?
I think I knew. I just didn't know I knew. Back to, we don't reinvent ourselves. We just grow in our awareness of what we know.
Okay. What does freedom mean to you at the very deepest level, beyond money, status, recognition, all of those things? What does it really mean?
For me, it's vitality. It's the energy of life. When I'm free, I know it's in my bones and flesh, because I can feel life circulating through me. And that's, I know a person who uses this metaphor that many of us have kinks in the hose. And just so aligning with life is like unkinking all the stuff that's preventing life to circulate through us. So this is what happens. Vitality. Vitality is It means that you're in sync with life. Doesn't mean any other thing. Instead of being
Beautiful.
separate and being like believing that I'm this being on earth and I have to deal with all the material stuff on. Yes, you have to deal with it, but there are different ways to go about it.
Yeah. How do you define success? What does that word mean to you?
I'm going to keep giving the same answer. It's vitality. Because my body, my brain is vital. I'm happy. I'm energized. It means life is working through me. It means that I'm able to express my unique contribution into the world because I'm vital. If you're a vegetable, if you're in pain, and I was that person, you can't contribute. You have nothing to contribute.
Yeah.
So you have to, back to our discussion, success is a sequence. You have to start with yourself, and it starts with vitality. How you go about vitality is not a magic pill. It's being willing to go deep and look at stuff. And for me, identity is your point of creation. The way that you perceive yourself to be is ultimately what's going to drive your results, because that's what's going to drive what you think you can do or can't do. So identity first, that's number one.
Okay. What does the word empowerment mean to you?
Freedom. When empowerment means I'm free. I'm free to be and do whatever I want. And that's the ultimate experience of life.
Beautiful. Okay, we're going to jump into a little rapid fire section here. So the next grouping of questions just be 1, 2, 3 word answer type thing. Okay.
Okay.
What is your favorite place on earth?
Me.
What is your secret or hidden talent?
I love life.
If you could teach the world one thing, what would it be?
Making French baguettes.
What is your guilty pleasure?
French baguettes.
What is the one word that sums up your mindset?
Oh, love.
Name one book that changed your life.
Oh, so many. So Breaking the Habits of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe.
Okay. What is one word that defines the woman you are becoming?
I'm a value creator.
Love it. That concludes our rapid fire section. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. I created a bonus question that I did not send you ahead of time. What is one habit, ritual, or practice that has been a game changer for you in your personal growth?
So meditation, guided meditation, and a very specific style, which is Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditation, which helps us to connect with the field. So leverage really our ability to be one with the field, to sense the world. And it has helped me really, really fast forward my personal transformation when it comes to my health, but everything else, because everything is energy. And so your personal want is yourself. And that's one of the things that has really accelerated my growth.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. If you were to introduce yourself to me without mentioning your occupation, where you're from, your business, your ethnicity, your nationality, your religion, all this shit, all the superficial markers and titles that we use in our day-to-day, how would you introduce yourself to me?
I am a lover of life. I'm a student of life. Yeah, all with this life. The more I get to understand how things work, the more I get to allow myself to understand and apply what I know, the more my world transforms and everything is formidable, like beyond, I want to say.
Okay. If you could step into my shoes, what question would you have asked yourself that I didn't ask you?
I think we've been around the world with the questions, Mr. Brad. Very satisfied with your questions. I feel they were amazing, remarkable.
Thank you.
Yes.
I received that. Thank you very much. If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that piece of advice be?
Love yourself more.
That's a big one for sure. Self-love is everything. It's the foundation for sure. If you were to deliver your last 30-second speech to the world, what would that last 30 seconds sound like? Like your tribe, your people, your corner of the world, what would that last 30 seconds sound like? What words of wisdom would you impart?
I say, you don't know how much time you have. So don't waste one more second not living in your own shoes, living somebody else's life, living by somebody else's design. Just start identifying who is it that you are and start bringing this person to the world for yourself first and then for everybody else. So I would say just now it's your time. Now it's your turn. Just go for it. Come alive. Because there's a beautiful quote that said, the only thing that the world needs is more people to come alive. And I believe that.
Beautiful. Veronique, thank you so much for being here with me today, for sharing your wisdom, your knowledge, your insights, the beautiful light you put out into the world, for sharing a bit about your story and your journey. It has been an absolute honor and pleasure having the opportunity to sit down and speak with you. I've enjoyed every minute of our conversation. I'm honored to call you a friend and to have you as a member of the Empowerography community. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much, Brad. It was beyond being with you today. I really, truly enjoyed our discussion, and I feel that we have so much more to discuss, but that was amazing discussion and quality of discussion. So thank you for that.
Beautiful. I received that. Thank you very much. Once again, my name is Brad Walsh, host of your Empowerography podcast. Today, my guest has been Veronique Gautier. She is a vision-driven leader, a value creator strategist, a mentor, a transformational life mastery consultant, a brave thinker, and a brand builder. Thank you so much, Veronique. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.
You too. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends. You can find me at visuphoria.ca, follow me on Instagram at Empowerography Podcast, and on Facebook at Empowerography. Please join me next time for another inspirational story from yet another amazing woman.